I didn't feel my time passing until my body made it physical. Not all at once, not dramatically, not with a single moment that announced itself. Time moved quietly in the background. It moved while I was busy being responsible. It moved while I was solving problems, meeting expectations, and telling myself that this phase of life was normal. It moved while I kept believing that effort was enough, that consistency was enough. I told myself that this was just a season, that there would be room later to think, to choose, to breathe. But time doesn't announce itself. It doesn't ask permission. It accumulates in silence. And then one day, your body introduces itself to the conversation and says, "We need to talk." I was 58 years old, standing in a house I no longer wanted to be responsible for. A house filled with objects that once solved my problems and now simply occupied space. Every room carried a version of me that once made sense. Every object had a reason. Every reason had expired. And inside all of that, I was living in a body that started to say no. Not angrily, not loudly, just consistently, in ways I could no longer negotiate with. This isn't about motivation. It's about timing. I kept telling myself I would decide later. Later felt careful. Later felt responsible. Later sounded like maturity. Later meant I didn't have to disrupt anything today. Later meant I could avoid uncomfortable conversations, both with other people and myself. Later allowed me to keep the peace, to maintain appearances, to stay predictable. Later is where important decisions go to decay, not loudly, not dramatically, quietly and respectably. Later is how you postpone life, without ever officially admitting you've done it. This is the part that most people skip, not because it's complicated, not because it's unclear. They skip it because it forces honesty before comfort, and honesty costs something. It costs certainty, it costs familiarity, and it costs the version of yourself that was convenient to keep. If you turn this video off now, nothing bad will happen today. Your day will continue exactly as planned, your routines will remain intact, and your responsibilities will be waiting. But you will keep doing the one thing that guarantees regret later. You will keep assuming that time is the variable that matters most. We talk endlessly about how much time we have left. We rarely talk about how much time our body can actually use. Stop asking how much time you have. Start asking how much time your body can still participate in. Those numbers are not the same. They never were. And then this happened. I fractured 3 vertebrae. No drama, no heroic story, just recalculation. I used to hike without thinking. I used to move without accounting for cost. I trusted my body because it never let me down before. Now I calculate every step, every shift of weight, every uneven surface, not out of fear, out of respect. Respect for limits I ignored for years because they were quiet, because they didn't interfere yet, because they allowed me to pretend I was still unlimited. Pain doesn't arrive suddenly, it arrives patiently. It waits until you're busy, and then when it finally speaks, it speaks with authority. Aging isn't about loss, it's about consequence. Every decision carries more weight when the body is the one that has to pay for it. You don't lose freedom with age, you lose the luxury of pretending choices are free. Every year that you postpone a meaningful change, you're making a silent bet. A bet that your knees will cooperate, that your back will carry weight, that your energy will still show up when you finally ask for it. Most people don't fail at change. They wait until the body renegotiates the terms, and the body always renegotiates. I'm relearning my body the way that you learn a new camera. One setting at a time, one limitation at a time. You stop forcing outcomes, you stop blaming the tool, you stop assuming every situation deserves the same approach. You begin working with reality, and reality, once accepted, becomes usable. Precision replaces effort, attention replaces force. You stop chasing every shot, you choose better ones. You stop reacting, you start anticipating. And what used to feel like restriction starts to feel like precision. Precision isn't loss, it's intention. It's deciding before the moment forces you to. That's not weakness, it's mastery. The body is the real clock, not the calendar, not the bank account. The body decides how much life is usable and how much is theoretical. Ignoring that clock doesn't stop it. It only makes the alarm louder later. If your body changed tomorrow, what would you stop doing? What trip would become urgent? What conversation would stop waiting? Clarity doesn't arrive gently. It breaks through comfort. It disrupts routines. It challenges the stories we tell ourselves. Urgency isn't panic. It's awareness arriving late, and it's asking what you're still pretending not to see. I wasn't running out of time. I was running out of honesty. Most people lose decades waiting for a better moment that never arrives in the body they expected. They don't fail loudly. They fade quietly. If you're chasing the last of your own good light, I would like you to stay. Not for motivation, for clarity. Subscribe and join the journey. Be here for the next chapter. The light doesn't wait, and neither should we.